I do want to ask about files, and is there a way to obtain your file from CPS? Right? If your lawyer can, or you can request it.
Okay, we're back. I'm attorney Vincent Davis. I'm on with Cynthia Becker, and we're hosting this show. The show is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. And we're taking your calls. We're generally on the air on Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., but we were preempted last night because of USC football. Cynthia, you ready to take another call?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see on the board. Okay. Brittany from California. Brittany, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
A little bit of both, but mostly a question to ask.
Go ahead.
I do want to ask about files, and is there a way to obtain your file from CPS? Right? If your lawyer can, or you can request it.
Is your case ongoing or is it closed?
It's ongoing. We have trial here on Friday. Yes.
Okay, so what you would want to do is you through your attorney, would want to make a request, a discovery request, to get all the file from the CPS social worker. There is something called the delivered service logs, and in Los Angeles County, they're called Title 20s, but everyone knows them across the state as delivered service logs. They're actually the diaries that the CPS social workers who've worked on your case have to keep and have to fill out and submit to the state through a system. And you can get all of those notes and records from the social worker that way.
Okay, awesome. And then I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I have three girls, and two of them have two fathers. The youngest two are with their paternal aunt, who I did not actually, I did ask him to go there, but that was like basically was the very last choice there, or foster care, because I did give them my choices, and for some reason I found something wrong with every single one, of course. Mm-hmm. And the paternal aunt, she was my monitor, and then I knew this was going to happen, but basically at one point during a visit, she just decided to get wild and, cuss and whatnot, and she did snatch my kids out of my arms physically. And I told the social worker, and I've went higher up, and I told everybody that, and it seems like nothing is being done about that. It's not a concern, and I'm not following rules. As like when they came to the dad's house, because dad's also an offending parent. So, but they do take them over there, and that's okay. So I'm wondering, how do I go about, bringing that up or into the light for the judge?
You'd bring it to light at the trial through your attorney producing certain testimony from witnesses or from yourself, or through certain documents.
Okay. And then last question is about coaching. I know for a fact my ex-husband does coach my oldest. She's 8, almost 9. Mm-hmm. And I did submit. I do have recordings because I took him to court about a year and a half ago to do a custody agreement. Mm-hmm. And so I do have video, basically just her kind of talking about it naturally, about, what her dad says for her to do and what she has to do at dad's house. How does that work with the whole coaching thing? Because CPS tells me things that my daughter says, but I know for a fact she would never say that. Or, I know my kids, so how does that work in court?
Well, you have to prove, you or your lawyer is going to have to prove mm-hmm. coaching by the dad. And generally that is, you call the minor, you subpoena the minor in, or you ask for that minor to be present, and then, you cross-examine the child. The problem that you're going to have right now through COVID is if the child is with the father, the child has to appear, via, I think LA uses WebEx or Zoom or something like that. But, you don't know where the father is while the child's giving testimony.
Exactly.
So,
and she is with him. She's placed her father right now, mm-hmm. and the other two, with paternal aunt. So, he's obviously, right there. He's going to be right there.
I know that in LA County, when a child has to testify, this just happened to me last week. The child has to be brought, I think, to the minor's office, the minor's attorney's office, where they ensure that the child is alone and, sit or communicate with the child as she's testifying. So you should talk to your attorney about bringing the child into, or getting the child into the courtroom, the virtual courtroom, or to the minor's office, and to make sure that that child testifies, and he or she, as your attorney, can ask questions with respect to coaching by the dad.
Are the children involved in therapy of any kind?
Well, that's another funny issue. Well, they're going to put my oldest in therapy. I actually did find that out last week, that she will be doing mental health services. The other two are too young. They're 2 and 3 months, so they will not be. But I was trying to get her into therapy about a year ago because of my mom passing. And Dad has always refused to, because our custody agreement states that means they have to agree. So if you don't agree, she can't do it. So Dad would never agree to mental health services. And I actually have proof of that because I was using my therapist for her on different days. So, but yeah, they are going to have her do mental health now because it's required. But I have been trying, to get her into, doing that previously.
The reason that I asked was because my children were coached by the foster mom, and it made it very difficult to prove anything on my end when my kids were saying things against me, even though they didn't want to. And the reason was because the foster mom was there and involved and forcing them to say the things. They were never pulled aside. So I think what Vince is saying is great, because if they get pulled aside from being coached and, get to have somebody who's on their side, like a therapist or whatever, that wants the best for them, then the truth hopefully will come out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. Perfect. That's what I wanted to know, because it's also that they don't give me my, I'm supposed to have 3 visits, bare minimum, for 3 hours. I have a newborn, and they only give me 1 visit per week for 2 hours. And they give me a monitor DCFS worker, and and they just now approved the people that I've been saying since 10/1. So it sounds to me that they're purposely trying, that my daughter's not really with my people or around anybody who would let her say anything. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
so
do you get to breastfeed the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to breastfeed the baby?
No. Nope. I do not get to breastfeed the baby. Well, all 3 of my kids are formula fed, except for my second one was breastfed for, the 2-year-old was breastfed. She's probably breastfed for about 2 months, just because I have no family out here. And so it's just how it has to be, because I have an older daughter. So I'm used to, always on the go. So that's why the last 2 are not breastfed.
I ask because that's another thing I hear quite frequently, is that the mom wants to breastfeed, but they're not allowed to per social workers. So I was just wondering.
I would breastfeed, but just I have a really unique situation as to where I'm a single mom, and I'm from Oregon, but I live out here, and all my family's deceased except for my grandfather, and he has congestive heart failure. So it's just me.
Well, Brittany, I have an assignment for you.
Yes.
Today, send an email to your attorney. You guys should have a strategy meeting before, Friday, the trial date, as to how it's going to go down, what witnesses you're going to call, what exhibits that you want to produce. Okay. And maybe you can help him or her by suggesting things in writing. Maybe you can make a list of people and tell the attorney, hey, I expect this witness to say blah, blah, blah. I expect this document, it's important because, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Hey, Brittany, do me a favor, and next couple of weeks, call us back and tell us how things turned out, okay?
No problem. We'll do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling, and thanks for listening. Cynthia, we have to take a break right now. This is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. We'll be right back with more questions, more calls, and more information from Cynthia on a new program she's doing.